There was a time where I didn't think I would put it out. I thought that maybe the whole thing was just going to be thrown in the garbage can. There's a hotel in downtown Athens, a Hotel Indigo, that's been there for a few years now, and I got to know one of the owners of the hotel. He gave me a tour of the construction site when it was in the middle of being built, and I thought, wow, this place looks like a mess, and he was telling me, oh, there's going to be this here, and there's going to be this here, and there's going to be this cool concert venue down here, and it's going to look like this, and I had a really hard time visualizing all of that. And then, several months later, when the job was done, I went there, and all of the stuff, that he described was there right in front of me. And that had a really powerful effect on me. I really admired someone's ability to visualize like that and bring something to life. And it inspired me to start working on my next album. And I wanted it to work that way. I wanted to have blueprints for the record. I wanted to be the architect of this record and bring it to life from the bottom up. I took meticulous notes on what I wanted. How I wanted it to sound, what kind of instruments I wanted on it, the vibe of the record. And I thought that since the Hotel Indigo had inspired me in that way, I thought it would be cool to record it there. And at the bottom of the hotel, there's a venue called the Rialto Room, which is a really intimate, cool listening room. And I spoke with my friend Rick Fine there, and he allowed us to come in and take over the Rialto Room for a week and turn it into a small recording studio. It was almost like music camp. We were there all week. We stayed in the hotel. We would record for 8 to 10 hours a day. We would break and eat lunch somewhere downtown, and it was a whole lot of fun. And it all culminated in the last 2 nights. We brought in a live audience of just family and friends and a few fans. Wanting to capture the feel of the live audience and see how it changed. After that first week, I was really excited to hear the first round of mixes, and ultimately I was disappointed in what happened. Only about half the songs sounded like I wanted them to sound. So at that point, we went into a more traditional studio environment. I was working with a guy named Rick Beato, who came in and recorded the Rialto sessions, and he had a great studio at his house in Stone Mountain. So we started going to Stone Mountain and recording songs there. So when it was all said and done, this initial grand design I had in my head was not working, and now I had these 2 distinct types of songs. I had this raw, organic stuff, and then I had this more polished stuff. The record to me was broken. It was broken in 2. I had 2 distinct parts that I couldn't seem to make fit together until I stumbled on the concept of the broken record. And so then I went about organizing the songs and weaving in interludes and themes to sort of tie it all together. One thing I caught a lot of flack for was changing a few of the songs, especially 21. I rewrote the last verse of 21 for the record, simply because I was no longer 26 on the original version. I said, now I'm only 26, feeling more like 43. And when I went in to make the broken record, it was 2010. I was in my mid-30s, and I didn't want to say I'm only 26 anymore. I wanted to sing something that rang more true. And I remember where I was when I wrote the newest verse. I was in Charleston, and my dad was in the hospital. I was really down, and but I was sitting on this rooftop bar there, looking out over Charleston Harbor. And I started writing. Now I'm somewhere in the gray of middle class and middle age, and when I finished it, I thought, this is a better verse. It's more universal, and more importantly, it more accurately expressed where I was at the time. So I chose to put it on the album, knowing that certain fans wouldn't like it, but feeling that I needed to take that risk. Now, I've said this before, but oftentimes it's very difficult to go back and listen to records, especially my early ones. I cringe oftentimes when I listen to them because I hear the mistakes, I hear the things I could have done differently. I don't get that feeling when I listen to the broken record. I'm very proud of the songs that are on that record. I'm proud of the way it turned out. And much like Keeping Up with the Joneses, I think that the broken record's an album that over time I think people will maybe come to understand and appreciate more and more. That's certainly what I hope.